Hi everyone, it's me, Beatty Kelly Sunflower. So I thought I'd hop on today and do an unboxing of this mass market Lenormand deck. It's called the Afro Goddess Lenormand and it's by Andrea Furtick. I received this deck last week. I also have the Afro Goddess indie version, so I thought I'd do a side-by-side comparison and unboxing. So let's first of all have a look at the mass market version. So it says at the back of the box, introducing the Afro Goddess Lenormand Oracle deck by Andrea Furtex, creator of the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcanas. Andrea expertly teaches modern readers the magical language of Lenormand with this vibrant deck, enhanced with gold glitter edges and spot varnish card backs for an added touch of elegance. This 37 card deck includes a bonus Ankh card signifying spiritual rebirth and personal alchemy. The comprehensive 92-page guidebook provides detailed meanings and nuanced readings in the area of love, career, and health matters. Clear instructions are also offered for an array of card spreads, including the Grand Tableau, and this is a US Games publication. Okay, so let's quickly take the cellophane of this before I do my comparison. So the indie deck comes in this beautiful green bag, and you know the mass market has got a green box. So it says here the Afro Goddess Oracle First Edition. So let's take it out the bag. So as you can see, they're all, I think the mass market one is slightly taller. Let's put them on top of each other. And slightly narrower. I don't know how clear that is on the camera. So the back of the indie deck says Abosade. For here lies the power of the 12th moon, sun. And then Andres signed it, and it's got the publishing company there. So let's open it up. So in the mass market edition, let's turn it around the right way. It says, savor the essence of the journey, for in silence we listen, and in the stillness we feel, but only within darkness can we truly see the light. And let's take out the guidebook, because I want to compare the guidebooks first. So in the indie deck, when you open it up, it's got the same writing, but obviously in different colours. And this is the guidebook for the indie version. Now, the mass market guidebook is a lovely green, and the indie guidebook is purple. At the back of the box, the mass market one has US Games system. Maria Anne Adelaide Lenormand, 1772 to 1843, was the most famous psychic of the 1800s. Using many methods of divination, Lenormand was infamous for her psychic abilities, including fortune card reading. In 1846, following her demise, author Johann Caspar Hechtel entitled a 36-card German fortune deck, the Petit Lenormand, and the rest is history. Now being one of the most widely used oracle decks of all time, the Petit Lenormand has become what is known to be the traditional oracle of the world. However, in this present moment, the Petit Lenormand system needed a little bit of a facelift, as it originally contains no people of colour. The Afro Goddess Oracle is a modernised yet traditional inspired 37-card deck to include all the formal magic of the Petit Lenormand, as well as an additional card called the Ankh, in a way that today's melanated divination society deserves. Modern and fully melanated divination deck designer Andrea Furtex has created the deck to inspire and inform, so you will surrender the image of the oracle. The choice is yours. I can't read the rest of this, but that's the difference with the guidebooks. Now let's have a look at the page count. So the mass market deck has, I'd say, 92 pages. And the indie deck is not numbered. But if you look at the print, it's a very different type of print. Okay, so let's look at the mass market. So an oracle for the melanated goddess. For it's the truth within destiny, I offer my greatest love and appreciation to my parents and family. I hope I've made you proud, your daughter and sister Andrea. For my dearest Monica and Jordan, from this moment forth, what I began, may it shield you, your sister and your daughters for centuries to come, Mum, and always my Stephen. You are both my deepest breath and my gentle exhale, your wife, Andrea. Is it here on the first page? That is the same as this, but then it's got like a quote here as well. So it gives you a nice content page where it gives you an introduction, the language of the Lenormand oracle, 3-card pool, 5-card pool, 9-card pool, the grand tablet spread, and a guide to the meanings and about the creator. The 5-card spread, the 9-card spread. This is my favourite spread. I like the grand tableau, but sometimes I don't have enough space to do it. So it's got here, guide to the meanings. Let me just see what it says in the indie deck. So if you look at the meanings, the mass market is a bit more clearly laid out. So card 1, the rider. This is like, it says here, temporary joy, fast motion activity. In the mass market, it's done over 1, 2, 3 pages, but in the indie version, it's done over 2 pages. I'm going to read out the rider. In the US Games version, it's got a picture of the card and the meaning. I think it's the same actually, but it's just one's done over 1 page and one's done over 2. And I guess because there's a picture in the mass market and the writing is slightly different, that's why. It also says here, the rider is either 1 day, 1 month, or 1 year. So it actually gives you timings. Look out, goddess. The passionate and speedy rider is on her way. Perched upon her black unicorn, the rider has her eyes focused ahead as she charges in full of passionate change, news and activity. If in the recent past you felt like you've been experiencing delays, setbacks or backlogs, the time is now over and forward movement is rapidly approaching, if not there already. If it's in love, the rider can often indicate new love quickly rushing in, either in the form of a new partner or a new energy within an existing union. It can be passionate, but do be cautious, as in some cases, it can unfortunately be only temporary. The rider is notorious for riding in quickly, but he also enjoys the ride so much that often he sadly doesn't stay. So enjoy the ride yourself while you can. If it's in career, a new and unexpected opportunity may be headed in your way. Know that you may have to act quickly and decisively, because in a blink of an eye, the rider can pass you by. So take advantage of this opportunity, because often by acting or just the right time, we can create the ideal path towards something more positive and permanent. All it may take is a swift and immediate action. In health, the rider is about legs, knees, feet and joints. Exercise may be needed. As I said, this is the same amount, but it's just more condensed together. So that's how each of the cards are defined. It does that for each of the 36 cards. So in the mass market version, it has a picture of the creator, and it's got a blurb here which I won't read out, and then it's got like a couple of pages for you to take, well, a page for you to take notes. But in the indie version, there's nothing about the author or creator, so that's just one difference. It's just that they've mentioned the creator. Okay, so let's have a look now at the cards. So this is the mass market, and this is the indie. Okay, let me just take the plastic covering off. So just on first inspection, the mass market version is the same height, but it's narrower than the indie deck. And if I compare the mass market version to a regular RWS card, you can see that it is definitely an oracle size. The mass market deck has this beautiful gold glitter gilding, and so does the indie deck. So let's compare them side by side. So you can see that very similar gilding, but off camera the US Games version looks more glittery. In terms of cardstock, the indie deck has like a nice buttery kind of feel, whereas the mass market version is just a smooth matte finish. But let's have a look at the back of the deck. So the mass market version is like a marbly effect. Oh, very similar colours but different design. The mass market deck is borderless. The archetype name is written down the bottom, whereas the indie version has a black border. Also as well with the mass market edition, can you see that pattern on it? That's the same pattern that's at the back of the indie version cards. Very similar pictures, just that on the indie deck, the numbering is on top. On the mass market deck, the numbering is down the bottom, and it's different typeface. So you've got the clover, the ship, the house, the tree. I love the face on the tree as well. It looks like an African carving. This is the clouds. It's got the light and dark, and you can see the confusion in the eyelids, in the eyeballs. So you've got the snake, the coffin, the bouquet, the scythe. Do you know what? I wish though in this picture that the woman wasn't so prominent. You know, this is a bit cluttered for me, because if you was a new person or new to Lenormand, you'll be thinking, is that the woman or is that the scythe? But I wish that it was just the scythe, or the actual archetype in this picture was smaller, so she wasn't a prominent feature in the card. Love the whip, love the dreadlocks hair, beautiful. The birds gossiping there. The child. The black fox. The bear. The stars. Again, for me, the trees are quite prominent, I would have liked it if the trees were a bit smaller so you can see more of the stars, because again, if this wasn't, if the archetype wasn't on here and the numbers weren't on here, that could be also confused for the tree. The stalk. The dog. Again, I would have preferred a bigger dog, so that, you know, because again, is that the lady or is that the dog? The tower. The garden. Can you see in the garden that the archetype is small and the garden is big? That's what I thought should have been done with the dog and the scythe, you know, making the main feature bigger. It's a beautiful garden, isn't it? The mountain. Again, a lot of trees in the background, which is confusing. Crossroads. Mice. The heart. Beautiful. Even the hands are kind of like in a heart shape where they're kind of placed. The ring. The book. The letter. Again, the woman is more prominent in the letter. But, you know, but you've got the writing there. But if this was a card that didn't have any writing, what is that? Is that a woman or is that the letter? The god, which is the man in a traditional Lenormand deck. The goddess, which is the woman in a traditional Lenormand deck. The lily, it's a nice red lily, which to me is more about sexual activity. The white one is more about virtue to me. The sun, again, the tree is quite prominent in this picture. The moon. The key. I love that it's got the ankh and it's got the African continent. But again, the African continent and the key are the same size. The fish, beautiful. The anchor, which looks like an ankh to be quite honest, doesn't it? The cross. And the extra card, which is the ankh. Beautiful. So before I shuffle my cards and give you my first impressions, let's see what deck I would pair this deck up with. I have the Afro Goddess Tarot, or Arcana Tarot. This is the mass market version. I do also have the indie version as well. And I did do a side-by-side comparison in another video. So, I wonder why they're smaller. It would have been nice if they were the same size. But, hey-ho. But the actual archetypes match. They're both borderless. Both got the same typeface. So I think these would make a nice pairing. The only difference is that the background in this is a bit shimmery. Whereas this is more clear and plain. But it's the same sort of archetypes. So I'd use this deck to pair it with. I guess I could also pair this up with the indie version. Yeah, let me get the indie version because they're more the same size. Indie version comes, again, in a bag, like the indie version of the Lenormand deck. So can you see that this is more the same size, but just a bit wider, but it's the same length. So I'd probably like to pair it with the indie one, to be quite honest. And also, this is not so shimmery, this one, as the mass market one. The mass market tarot deck is kind of shimmerish. Yep, I think this is better. It's a better pairing. The indie tarot deck with the mass market Lenormand. Beautiful pairing together. So this is what I would pair it with. Even though the indie tarot deck does have a border, they still work together well as a pair. Absolute perfect match. Okay, so let's give this card a shuffle and see how they shuffle. They shuffle beautifully. And again, I don't think a bridge or wiffle shuffle would have problems with these cards. What's that at the back of the cards? It's like a stamp there, can you see? Oh, it's got US games. Oh, such a smooth shuffle. Can you hear that click, 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 click? Beautiful. Okay, so what are my first impressions? I've always liked this Lenormand deck, even in its indie version. But for me, it's a bit fussy for a newbie. So I don't really mind, because you can see the archetype name, and you can see that the moon is somewhere in the archetypes, even though there's clouds and trees kind of cluttering. So I think a newbie would kind of struggle with this. I kind of wish that this was the same size as the mass market tarot deck. Can you see? The mass market tarot deck is more of a pocket size. Yeah, and for me, I prefer my Lenormand this size, so that when you got it out as a grand tableau, you can utilize the card. This is a bit too big for me for a Lenormand deck. I can understand the reason why it's big, because the indie version was big, but the only reason why the indie version was big was because the tarot deck was big. So I do think they should have made it the same size as the mass market, so that you can use them together on a table for a reading. But that's just a small thing. So it's beautiful. It's just that it's a lot of clutter, like the trees could have been smaller, like I said earlier. But apart from that, it's a beautiful deck. I think a seasoned Lenormand reader wouldn't have any problems reading this deck, but a newbie would. I would have preferred it if the cards were more like pocket or bridge size. I absolutely adore the book. It's written out clearly. It gives you love, career and health meanings, which I like, and it's quite it's just enough. It's got enough information without waffling on. So this is my mass market Afro Goddess Lenormand Oracle by Andrea Furtick. I will leave a link in the description bar for the mass market version if anybody's interested. I don't think that the indie version is still in print, but if I can find a link, I will also add the link there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.